Appreciate everybody being here with us tonight, and we actually have a fill-in for Pastor Kane McKenzie of Sweet Haven Church. Tonight we welcome Ralph Little, who's a deacon with that church.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you being with us tonight.
Yes, Kane is with a sick church member, so he asked me to fill in. So, Will, let us pray. Father, thank you for your love and mercy and your many blessings, Lord. I just ask that you be with everyone here tonight. Lord, help comfort the sick and their families, and most of all, be with that lost person. Lord, I ask that you be with the councilmen and women and city personnel that are here tonight and help in any decisions that they make. Lord, again, I ask that you bless everyone here tonight. I ask this in your sweet heavenly name. Amen.
You'll never know it, but he was a heck of a football player, and
among other things.
got his nickname Bopper from bopping heads out there, and he and I were classmates.
And I thank y'all for having us here.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bob.
See you, Bob.
Do we have any amendments or changes to the agenda tonight?
No, sir.
All right, then we'll move on to the consent agenda, which includes the minutes of our prior meeting in July, tax collector's report, and a couple of other items.
Make a motion.
Motion from Councilman Willard to approve the consent agenda. We have a second. Second from Councilwoman Sullivan. Those in favor, please say aye. Anyone opposed? All right. Next would be business by planning board. We have nothing by the planning board itself, but we do have a couple of demolitions to consider tonight.
That's correct, Mr. Mayor. We have two. The first is consideration of a demolition ordinance for dilapidated dwelling located at 615 Rockingham Road and identified as Richmond County PIN number 746313024924. And I'm gonna talk about both of these together. So the second one is consideration of a demolition ordinance for the dilapidated dwelling located at 617 Rockingham Road and identified as Richmond County PIN number 747313036013. These are owned by the same family. It's heir property, it's in an estate. We started condemnation process back in November of 23. We had some contact with several of the owners. They expressed an interest in selling the property. They had a willing buyer, but they could not get all the family in agreement to sell the property. Ray Herndon actually worked with the property owners to try to get a deed so they could convey the property, and he has told me that he's given up on it and walked away, that it does not appear likely to happen. So we had actually, I could have had this on the council agenda 6 months ago, but I delayed it in the hopes that they would work out something and the city would not have to tear these properties down, but it looks like we will have to do so now. Had photos in your agenda packet. You can see the condition. This is 615, this is the front house. 617 is located directly behind. It's a brick home. Both of them are unsecure. Vagrants have been wandering in and out. You can see the condition. So our recommendation is that you approve the demolition ordinance for both properties.
Thank you. I assume we should take them one at a time.
Yes, I have two separate motions.
Any questions or comments for John?
Make a motion for the demolition of the ordinance 615 Rockingham Road.
Okay. Motion from Councilwoman Sullivan for the demolition of the dwelling located at 615 Rockingham Road. Do we have a second? Second from Councilwoman Al. Any discussion on that topic? If not, those in favor? Anyone opposed? All right. So we move on to 617 Rockingham Road.
Motion to move forward with demolition.
Motion from Councilman Dean. You want
I'll second.
a second from Councilwoman Sullivan? Any discussion on that one? Not those in favor, please say aye. Anyone opposed? All right.
That's all I have.
John, thank you. Appreciate that. Next item is the consideration of approval of a grant project ordinance from a special revenue fund. in order to track funds received from the North Carolina state budget. Monty, you wanna tell us about that?
This is money that Representative Ben Moss got for recreation, and this, money's being received, the adoption of this, resolution, budget ordinance, we'll be able to, expend those funds.
Very good. And, from the description, some is for Rockingham, some is for Ellerby, I believe. So, do you all have any questions about that grant?
We'll use it to redo the field house at Bridle Park and do some, improve some, handicap accessibility and some work to do.
Excellent. I've heard comments that work, indicate that work will be welcome. So
Yep.
it's, good to have the funds in hand to do that. We have a motion then to approve.
Make a motion.
Motion from Councilman Willard. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilman Dean. Those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Next item then, Monty, will go back to you for this as well. It's a consideration of approval of the disposal of surplus city property.
Yes, sir, the general statutes here identified in the agenda is, with the approval of this tonight, you'll be authorizing me as the city manager to dispose of the city, to declare the surplus city property list there surplus, and gives me authorization to dispose of that property at auction, public auction, personal property. And for the first time, we're going to do an online. That seems to be the, I've told you all several times, I have been here 42 years and feel like a dinosaur sometimes. We've always done the sales down on the yard, done that, and have people come in and bid the cars and everything like that. Apparently nobody does that anymore. And so the dinosaur's giving in once again. And we're going to, I've negotiated a contract with Iron Horse Auction to conduct a online auction for the surplus property that's listed here, and it will be held October 2nd, open at 8 a.m. and close October 9th at 2 p.m. They will take pictures of all the property, inventory it, put it on their website, and the general statute allows, that will serve as public application, public notification of these items. They can go on this website and look at everything's for sale, and then they can go in and actually look at it in the order once it's published. This will probably go live tomorrow, or at least by the end of the week. But we will hold going live with it, this website, until council did you approve it if you so desire.
Thank you. Iron Horse, of course, has a lot of expertise in online auctions, doing it for a long time. Any questions or comments regarding that?
Motion to authorize, the disposition of surplus property as presented.
Very good. Motion from Councilman Dean. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilman Willard. Any further discussion? If not, those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Moving right along, the next item on the agenda is business by visitors. Seeing none here, we'll move on to business by city clerk.
No business of Mr. Mayor, thank you.
Business by city manager.
A couple quick items. One, the auditors have been in here for the last week and a half, meeting with finance staff. They left Friday. There's some cleanup details that they still need this week. So it went well, and they have got all the information they need, and we expect an audit to be back to council for consideration in October, no later than November. So that has been accomplished. In finance, you remember several months ago, back in the first of the year, we went live with online payment bill pays. We're now have about 900 customers a month using that service, which is we can tell a difference in the drive-in window and the walk-in traffic, and so that is really great. And so I'm hoping that we'll see those numbers continue to rise. But you know, when you see the bill in, somebody's gotta sit there and open it and do it, and, it's just a lot more convenient. The money gets deposited in the bank immediately. It's just been it's been a good thing this switched to. And that leads into the next segment that, I think I mentioned that Jennifer had selected a firm to do our financial hardware upgrade. We have a training session on that this week, where we will meet with our IT person to look at the hardware, changes that needs to be done to adopt their software. And also we'll be addressing too online, and that, an online search too to continue and include taxes in that. So you can pay on taxes now, but you have to do a separate number the way the law works out. You can't do it like a utility bill. And so, we hope to get that addressed, with the new system. So, that's something going and started as well. I'm not sure the council's ever been understood that the city owns the building, the old McKenzie Furniture Building, where Discovery Place Kids is now, but we don't own the parking lot next door. That parking lot was bought by a gentleman out of Georgia named Miller Heath, probably 20 years ago when they built the new social services office. He bought that parking lot to serve that social services office, where, you know, bumps and stuff hit the road, and there's some contamination, that type of stuff like that. He was able to build a building without the need of the additional parking lot. So we kind of inherited with a handshake agreement. It's one of the few times it has done that. I was telling the mayor about it the other day. It's very rare you can do business with somebody in another state, basically over the phone on an imagined handshake. So that's the deal we've always had with him. He wanted the city to use it. And when we built Discovery Place Kids, you know, we needed that parking lot. And I called him, I said, Mr. Heath, I said, I can tell you, we're gonna tear it all to pieces. I said, but we'll rebuild it when we get done, and you'll have a brand new parking lot. And, do you want me to send you anything to say that, or sign a contract or an agreement? He says, no, I'll take it at your word. And so we've always done it with that, on a handshake basis over the phone. I've never met the man, but I've talked to him many times over the years. So he called me the other day, a couple of weeks ago, and he wants to officially donate that parking lot to the city. And so I called Ray, our attorney for real estate matters, and he is in the process of drafting a grant, an agreement for a gift donation, ordered an appraisal that we'll pay for, of course, and come up with a statement of value, and then move forward with. I'll have to come back to council with the acceptance of that donation. That's a little good news. You know, he certainly didn't have to do that. He could have put it for sale, or he could have told us to put parking there and send us money, or send me however many $1,000s he wants for it. He wouldn't have much of a choice, but he's a good guy, and certainly appreciate his generosity in making this offer to turn that parking lot over to the city. So that's a little good news I wanted to share with you. Plaza Jam has gone well this year. You know, we've had a heck of a lineup, like we always do, but this year we're ending up with the Tams at the next one, and the Embers at the last one. So that's a heck of a bang to go out with. We've had great crowds, great weather, and so I just encourage folks to remember that Plaza Jam ends up with two really good bands over the next 2 months. You know, that's all that I have, and that's all I have.
Appreciate those updates, Monty, and that is great news on the parking lot.
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor, one thing, we're still working on the mural. We've got an agreement on the mural. We've got one designed. And so, as soon as we're ready to get that done, we've got somebody to do the mural. We've got an artist who will do the mural, but all we'll have to do is purchase the, paint and supplies, and he'll provide labor, and, I think you'll really like it, but as soon as we get all that nailed down, I'll get a copy of what we're gonna do out, but, it's gonna be in a good location, and so we're already still working on that.
Excellent news.
Yes.
All right, move on to items by council members. Start on this end this time, Councilman Dean.
I don't think I have it there, Mr. Mayor.
Councilwoman Sullivan.
Nothing, I just, Mommy talked about ending up Plaza Jam. I did see where they had posted on the city website the other day, Christmas on the Square, the first Saturday in December, and that's not that long. So so it's moving now.
And I'm glad I forgot to put that on my list, but yes, Carolyn Ford is already working on that.
Yeah.
They already had to set up the account, so different vendors are already paying to come to Christmas on the Square, so really tickled to death she's wanting to do it again.
It's just hard to believe it's
It
almost.
really is, yes.
Yeah. Nothing.
It takes at least 6 months to plan it.
That's
So,
right.
yeah, it's that time.
Listen, Mr. Mayor.
Councilwoman Howe.
Thank you.
All right, quiet crowd tonight. I would just say thank you to the city staff. I know the storm this past week was not as intense as we expected, but, talking to Monty the day beforehand, everybody was absolutely ready and had done all the prep work we could possibly do. And, a lot of quick cleanup afterwards, so the staff was, as usual, right on top of it, and we really do appreciate that diligence. And then, of course, I would, again, remember the family of our city clerk, Sabrina McDonald, and the passing of her stepfather, who was not only a good man, he was, one of the founders of one of our neighboring towns, Dobbins Heights. So, we continue to remember you and hope that you all continue to make it through this difficult time. Other than that, I have nothing else. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Motion from Councilman Willard. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second from Councilwoman Howe.